transition following the ouster of Nicolás Maduro. US Chief of Mission Laura Dogu said she met with Interim President Delcy Rodríguez and raised American plans for stabilization, economic recovery, reconciliation and transition process. The statement, posted on the US Embassy's social media account, signals a potential reset in relations between Caracas and Washington. On the same day, Rodríguez named former Foreign Minister Felix Plasencia to lead Venezuela's diplomatic mission to the United States, marking a major shift after ties were cut in 2019. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado said she would consider meeting Rodríguez to define a transition timeline, but warned the interim government remains part of the same power structure. Let's listen in to what Venezuelan Foreign Affairs Minister Yvonne Gil had said about the meeting.
Flores, acabamos de sostener una reunión muy importante, una reunión de la presidenta encargada Delcy Rodríguez, junto con el presidente de la Asamblea Nacional, Jorge Rodríguez, recibiendo a la representante diplomática del gobierno de los Estados Unidos, la señora Laura Dogu, quien ha arribado al país para iniciar esta fase de conversación, esta fase de trabajo, esta agenda de trabajo que ha anunciado nuestra presidenta encargada del tema de Venezuela. Hemos hecho un repaso, de la agenda común, sobre todo en los temas energéticos, temas comerciales, temas políticos, temas económicos y la instalación tanto en Venezuela de la representación diplomática del gobierno de los Estados Unidos, que estará encabezada por la señora Laura Dogu, como la instalación en Washington de nuestra representación diplomática, que la presidenta encargada ha designado a nuestro embajador Félix Plasencia. Como el gobierno bolivariano ha sido enfático de poder construir una agenda productiva, una agenda de paz, una agenda de respeto, una agenda que calce a la perfección con los postulados del derecho internacional, de la Carta de Naciones Unidas, de la soberanía de nuestros estados, y podamos definitivamente enrumbar las relaciones entre los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica y Venezuela por un camino de felicidad para ambos pueblos.
We are now being joined by Ambassador KB Fabian. Again, thank you so much for joining us here again. What does the meeting between Rodríguez and the new US Chief of Mission signal about the thawing of ties between Caracas and Washington after years of diplomatic rupture?
It's a welcome development that Venezuela and the United States are having diplomatic relations, and for that it is necessary to have resident diplomatic missions. So that is a very good beginning. But if it is the intention of the American ambassador to Venezuela to interfere in Venezuela's internal matters and to promote a transition of power from the existing Rodríguez to somebody else, for example, Machado, well, that will not be a good development. But my view is that Venezuela is capable of taking care of such matters, and that while Venezuela is compelled to permit America to sort of control its oil export, otherwise, Venezuela will retain its independence of decision-making.
In her comments to the media following her meetings with Venezuelan leadership, Laura Dogu stated that Delcy Rodríguez's government is still the mafia. What does this tell us about how America views the current leadership structure of Venezuela, and how might it inform their future actions?
Well, America wants a regime change. And when I say a regime change, America wants to put somebody in charge of Venezuela who will take orders from Washington. Now, they will still keep on trying, but I'm not sure that they will succeed in full measure.
And with the new hydrocarbon law that has been passed to ease access for private oil players in Venezuela, Does this appointment mark the next step in US oligarchy's impending takeover of Venezuela's vast oil resources?
Probably, because when it says that private corporate bodies can get involved, it primarily means private American companies. It is not that, a company from, say, China or Russia will be able to do the exploitation and production of oil. It will be America's monopoly.
And the US currently has less than half the number of envoys across the world when compared. In the context where the US recently captured Nicolás Maduro and Venezuela in appointing new diplomats, what are the risks and opportunities to rebuilding trust between the two governments?
I do not expect much trust to be there, but Venezuelan government will have to handle Trump diplomatically. So it is not a question of trust. It's a question of navigating very treacherous waters as skillfully as one can.
Thank you so much for joining us here today on NewsX World.